ahead. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Tuesday Night Principal Cairo broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call, and I'm joined by Emma, fresh off a Girl Scout meeting and an ice pop. So, yes. What do you got to show our viewers tonight, Emma? Something you picked up from the holiday craft fair we went to tonight? Oh, what do you got there? Oh, a dragon! Oh, that's one of those 3D dragons. It's made out of a 3D printer. Pretty cool. So, anyway, we are fresh off the holidays here. Hope everyone's getting ready for Thanksgiving next week and is getting their plans together for a wonderful, joyous reunion with family and friends. Sorry, I'm a little overdressed for tonight's call. I'm coming off a school board meeting, which was exciting. I was named the vice chair of the Martin County School Board tonight, so exciting day for Daddy, right?
Yeah.
You just care about the dragon, okay. And wanted to give you guys a quick update here. In Florida, there's a new bill, HB 439. For those of you that follow politics, in the state of Florida, the FCA and the FCPA have bonded together to file an injectables bill this week. So, you go to the chiropractor, you get adjusted, and, you get your B12 shot. So that's what they think chiropractic is down here in the state of Florida. So as FCS president, just want to keep you guys aware, and hopefully you'll help us oppose this heinous bill and block it here in the state of Florida. But anyway, we're on the DE call, so let's focus on DE here. And we got DE right around the corner here because we're at Thanksgiving already. There's our next DE, January 29th to February 1st at the Atlanta Marriott Perimeter Center. It's going to be a snow DE. Hopefully we get some snow there. That'd be great. So join us there in Atlanta for that one. Then in the spring, we're down in sunny Clearwater, April 16th to the 19th. Sheridan Sand Key Resort. Love that place right on the Gulf of Mexico. And then in the summer, back in Atlanta at the Marriott Perimeter Center in mid-July. Go to lifede.com, get registered, find out all your information, get your hotel booked. We'd love to see you. Just a little over 2 months away. I can't believe it. Another DE coming up after Thanksgiving and our holidays. Connect groups, there they are, blue, orange, yellow, purple. I'm on the purple team, the best team. But get on a team if you haven't been to one. Connect with your people in your groups and keep in touch in between DEs. You'll get a lot of help, right, Emma?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So exciting call tonight. We've got someone who, I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about Dr. Miriam. I was just chatting with her before the call, and she's been coming to DE forever, since 2018. So that's 7 years. She goes to pretty much all of them. And she said that someone came up to her at the last DE and said, "Is this your first DE?" And she's like, "No, it's my 20th." But yeah, she's one of these people that hides in the back of the room, not really on purpose, but just because that's where she feels comfortable. And honestly, when my dad came to DE before he passed away, way back in the 70s, he was one of those people in the back of the room, and he was beloved by people at DE. So I'm excited to hear more about her, and I think we're going to move her into the beloved status here. So we got an FCS member, too, from Santa Rosa Beach, a 2012 graduate of Life University, making her debut on the FCS, on the DE Band of Brothers call. Let's give it up for Dr. Miriam Mosley. Take it away, Dr. Miriam. We love and appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I've been coming to DE since 2018. We started in August, my husband Josh and I, and I haven't missed one since. But I'm originally from Niceville, Florida. I come from a family of 13 kids. I have 9 brothers and 3 sisters, and so I was one of the shy ones, and that continued on until my mid-20s. I couldn't really talk to anybody. So yes, the back of the room is where I feel comfortable, and I'm fine with that, but the message still gets to the back of the room, and I'm happy about that. So basically, what I want to talk about tonight is I was thinking about what Peter said at the last DE about being vigilant to the will of God within you, and how when a thought flash comes through, it's not a request, it's a command. So when we started out in practice, we were out in Seattle, Washington. We had a house clinic out there, and we were making enough money to pay the bills, but not really anything more than that. And it was getting kind of old, and we were trying to think of what we could do to maybe improve the practice. And I mean, I learned about chiropractic from Dr. Zook. He came and spoke in my high school biology class. And so I got the DE message before I even had ever been to a chiropractor. And it really stuck with me. It was like an instant connection. Like, this sounds like something that I'd want to do. So thank you, Dr. Zook, for that. And he was my first chiropractor. And so he was like, go to life. And he gave me some good directions, him and Dar, along the way. But we decided we were going to go to DE. It was August 2018, and booked tickets. It was hard to pay for it. And we went there. And when we came back, our practice increased that month 50%. And all of a sudden we had money and we could pay to go to DE after that. And so I thought, this is great. We're going to just keep going to DE. We didn't really change anything in our practice. So I guess it was just because we had changed from the inside. But I didn't really know what it was that made our practice all of a sudden increase 50%, but it was good, and we needed that. So I was happy about it. So we continued going on to DE, and we were there every time. And coronavirus happened. And every time I was going to DE, I would listen to the message. I wasn't fully like jumping in with both feet necessarily. I was homeschooling my kids at the time, and Josh was the main person seeing people in the practice, and it was hard. And then the coronavirus happened, and my kids got completely isolated because we were in Seattle and we were still seeing people, and their friends' parents basically banned them from seeing them after that. So it was really affecting our kids, and I didn't like that at all, because what's the point of having like a good God life and good chiropractic life, but your family life is just like, they're suffering. So I started going within, and I would say to God, like, I would spend like about an hour a day, and I would say, tell me what to do and I'll do it. God, just tell me what to do. And I kept on, I got a few messages and I did those things. And then I just kept saying, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I got the message, go to Florida. And it was the beginning of 2021 at that point. And so I started looking into that. And when it's the right thing and you're supposed to do it, I find that it usually happens really fast. So talk to Josh about leaving it all behind in Seattle and starting over in Florida. One of the things that we really needed was a house clinic, because that's just what works best for our family. So started looking for that. And before I went to school to life, I was living out on 30A in Santa Rosa Beach. And I used to think it'd be so nice to have a practice out on 30A, but we ended up in Seattle. So I just didn't think that was going to happen. And when I started looking for a house clinic, basically, we ended up finding a property off market on 30A, and it was like the last good price of anything before the real estate like really skyrocketed. So we were able to buy it, and I moved down there with the kids to get them out of Seattle, and Josh stayed in Seattle and continued working while we got the practice built out. And sometimes you don't really understand why things happen or when they happen until kind of after the fact. But when I moved to Florida, 6 weeks later, my dad almost died because he got the coronavirus. And basically, if I hadn't been there, my mom was out of town when it happened, and he would have literally been dead on the floor when she got back from her vacation. So I could tell that obviously I was supposed to be there for a reason. But you know, it's hard starting over because you just want to do well, and you don't really want to do all that stuff again. You just kind of want things to flow nice and easy. But we did the move. We opened up at the end of 2021, and we never really did any advertising in Seattle or anything like that. So everything just grew organically. And so we just opened our doors just like we did in Seattle, and prayed for God to fill the office. And the first month was really slow. And I remember kind of freaking out and saying, I can't deal with a slow buildup. I need this practice to really take off. And it's almost like, well, I know God heard me say that, and within 10 months we were doing as well as we were in Seattle. So it was great. And my kids were able to go back to school, to the school that I actually went to from K-5 to graduation, and even had some of the same teachers that I had when I was in school. So they were thriving, and the office was thriving, and we were thriving. So it was great. We continued to go to DE. But the October 2023 DE really hit me hard. And it's like most of the time when you go to DE, you feel pretty good, I think, or at least that's the way it works for me. And you come back and things are kind of moving right and better. And then like a few weeks before DE, you just kind of need it again. And the October 2023 DE, I don't know what it was about it, but it was really depressing for me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I can't even remember what it was about it, but I started getting up in the morning and spending time with God. And in November 2023, he really drew me in close to me. It was like one morning he wrapped me in the biggest, warmest hug that you could ever feel. And it makes me kind of tear up just thinking about it, because it was just such a life-changing moment for me. And after that, things were just getting better and better. And again, you just don't know why things happen when they do, until sometimes you look back and it all makes sense. But I would listen to what he wanted me to do, and kind of focus on what he wanted me to do. And my happiness level was growing, and my family's happiness level was growing. And then 2024 started, and it ended up being a really difficult year for us. So Josh started his ICA upper cervical diplomate that year. And so he was gone to a conference every month. And we decided to hire my sister to work with us at the front desk. All this time, it was always just me and Josh. And she was great. She really fit in. It was really great. And then fast forward a few months, and Josh's dad died. And so we had to go do all this stuff for that. And then a few weeks after that, my family, my original family, not my new family, got completely fractured completely torn apart. Didn't think that we would ever, I know we'll not all ever be in the same room again, but I would just go out to the beach. I can see the Gulf of Mexico from our house. So I would go out to the beach in the morning at the sunrise, because if you really want to feel the presence of God, all you have to do is go to the sunrise on the Gulf, and you'll feel it every time. And I would cry and say, what should I do about this? Like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And he just kept saying, like, stick with me, stick with your family, my new family, my current family, and I'm going to make sure everything's okay. A few weeks after that, because of my family being fractured, my sister kind of went off the deep end. I had to fire her. But I had to do it, and was worried that it was going to ruin my relationship with her too, but it ended up being fine. And basically, I tried to tell everyone in my family, like, just stick with God and he'll get you through it, but not everyone chose to do that. And the difference between the group that did and the group that didn't is pretty it's kind of devastating. But my family came through it okay. And then in October, I was walking through Lowe's and I slipped in a puddle and tore my calf muscle and herniated 9 discs in my spine. And so I was bedridden for about 6 weeks after that. And thank God for chiropractic, and thank God for Josh, because I'd probably still be bedridden if it weren't for him and if it weren't for chiropractic. But even with all those things happening, we just continued to serve people. I mean, I really had to dip out of the office for a short period of time at the end of 2024, but 2024 ended up being our best year ever somehow, even with all those things happening. And I never would have made it through if God hadn't drawn me close to him in November 2023. So basically, even though I'm still injured, our office is still going to have another record year. We've never done this well. When we moved from Seattle, we decided to stop taking even like the PI insurance. That was the only insurance we ever took. And so we have a strictly cash practice, and we're doing better and better every year. And this year is significantly better than last year. So it's all working out, and I know I'll be back to 100% eventually. But basically, I used to try to fill from an empty cup before I started coming to DE. And then when I started coming to DE, I would get my cup filled, and I would go back and I would serve God, and I would serve my family, and I would serve chiropractic. And those are the 3 things that are important to Josh and I. But then when God drew me in, he filled my cup with a living water that never runs out. And so I'm thankful for all the things that led up to that point. I know DE was a big part of that. And like I said, I've not missed a DE since we first came back, and I don't ever plan on missing a DE ever again if I can help it. So thanks for listening to me. It was a little nerve-wracking, but thank you so much. I love and appreciate all of you.
Miriam, wow, what a story.
Thank you.
Great job. Way to step up. I know this is outside of your comfort zone, but that's some of the things we learn at DE is to get outside your comfort zone, and you did it tonight and accomplished it beautifully.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot, man. I want to give you like a hug through this thing. Like you've had some battles here since this DE. I love how you're going to keep coming, and you know, it's for a lot, but wow, but it was a great story. I appreciate you sharing. I'm still trying to process it all because it's been a lot you've been through here.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm totally fine.
But and then you're
So,
breaking records in your office. It's like I thought you couldn't move with the 9 herniated discs. I'm like, how are you breaking records? So like, it's like I almost want to know more of the story. So we'll
yeah.
probably have to here and get more of these details. But I appreciate you sharing tonight. I thought it was awesome. You really did a great job. That's why you never know what you're going to get from people, and you absolutely killed it tonight. So thank you so much for being on. Thank you for sharing your heart. And thank you for coming to DE. And we'll see you in January. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Tuesday night Principal Cairo broadcast. DE and Band of Brothers. We'll see you next Tuesday, I think. It's Thanksgiving week. Hopefully we're on. It's or the week after. One or the other. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.